everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Detroit.
Well, Coach, the seating capacity is 65,000 at Ford Field, and we are right around that number today. A good crowd on hand and seemingly ready to go in the Motor City. Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Detroit Lions. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive as we get set to see Josh Rosen command this offense, the number 10 pick in the 2018 draft.
Okay, I'm not taking a turn to negative town, even though it's going to sound like it. The 2 interceptions he threw last week, those obviously have to be eliminated, and that was the focus of practice this week. But let's face it, he did throw 3 touchdowns.
And they got the win.
And they got the win, so I think it was a good week for him to work on things. Had some positives, the win being first and foremost. Now he's just got to eliminate those interceptions.
You don't see that a ton, do you? Or the cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played. I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
I can't believe they even let you play.
On third down, Rosen. He's going to let this one go deep. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Down. Send two stop.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That's complete to Sharp. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming. For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on 3rd down. Here's Johnson. And an alley to run. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And finally taken down at the 44-yard line. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 5 catches, 65 yards.
Look, I know everybody wants to be number 1 in everything they do, but he's number 2 in the league in receiving yards. That's a strong number, a strong year, and they want that to continue.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
They'll look to throw here. He wants it all for the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was open for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
They'll run on first down. Richard. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Rosen toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Deshaun Hamilton, the intended receiver, and it's third down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. And they find themselves just outside the top 10 in the league against the pass, currently bringing up the number 11 spot.
And since this is such a good unit of covering passes downfield, I think that last play is typical of what we might see. A lot of short passes, see if they can generate some run after the catch. But nothing doing on that one.
It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a fourth down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether it's seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. They'll look to throw. And yes, complete to the tight end, McDonald. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And he's got a man. It's the tight end, Howard, complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
They run on first down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7 forthcoming. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 42. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a first down. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Now the Auburn product, Corey Grant. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. Touchdown, Tampa Bay! Corey Grant with touchdown number 8 on the year as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jonathan Allen has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. This is Richard, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. 3rd and long here for Rosen. Open man here is Hamilton. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Pulled in at the 24. The 48-yard punt, 7 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away, because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
On 2nd down, it's Johnson. Almost unstoppable on the ground there, as that one is good for 39. You know, I have a pretty good friend, Charles Davis, who tells me that when he sees plays like that, strong runs to the right, reminds him of the 1960s Green Bay Packers.
Boy, those were the days back when the fullback actually carried the ball as well as blocked. Then you had a halfback. You had pulling guards, guys who could get out and run. And you can hear the great coach saying it back then. So we get a seal here and a seal here, and we run this play right in the alley.
Let's get it.
2nd and 13. Sharks got it, left side. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A big play that time for Tampa Bay. And even 40 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sack back around the 8. Eric Armstead, the defensive end, will get credited for the sack.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Here's 2nd and 8. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
He'll look to throw. And he's got his tight end, Howard. It's a Buccaneer touchdown. O.J. Howard, his 6th touchdown of the season as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. No surprise there, 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
I want to.
I know, but hold on, let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Rosen. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
36.
On 1st down, Richard. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And he'll go down right around the 47 this time.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
A couple of 1st downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down. And they're going to get about 3 here out of this 1st down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7. Give them 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. This is Howard on 2nd down. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. They had 3 yards on 1st down, just 1 yard there.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Rosen. He'll find his running back here, Richard. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Throwing again, it's Rosen. Oh, Rosen is stripped to the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder Are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. Yeah, they have had success on the ground, really as a team, doing well carrying the football. So maybe a little less pressure on his shoulders as the quarterback.
Any pressure he's carrying right now, that's self-inflicted, right? He's taking it on. He doesn't need to. Continue to do what you just said. Let everyone else carry the football. That's been effective. Don't have to worry about him throwing the ball in all the situations now. That's got to be a good feeling if he just relaxes and lets it keep coming to him.
Yeah, and relax and enjoy the second quarter lead right now.
60 or. Let him know, let him know. Let him know, let him know.
They go play action here on first down. That one complete. He finds Sharp. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. DJ Chark, his 21st touchdown of the season as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. One play, long touchdown pass into the end zone. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there.
And you have to figure they won't just sit on the football here in the final minute. The way things have gone, they need to try to make something happen offensively.
But maybe they should. Maybe they should sit on it here because of what you just said. They haven't made anything happen offensively. Getting ready to go into the half, give them a chance to take a deep breath, exhale a little bit, and start over. I don't know if this is the time to push it myself.
Now, right now, under 100 yards of total offense.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So, flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. This is the correct call.
The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. The Lions into the red zone for the first time. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. To throw is Rosen. He'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
I know when you got a top tight end like this, you want to get him involved, but when you do, you're hoping for more than that.
You certainly are. You got to try and get him some space where he can make a play downfield.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Gary and Conley.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Leo!
Well, they're just going to run it here up the middle.
And another mistake here defensively as a flag is down on the tackle, and that's going to tack on 15 more. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
They'll set up to throw. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining.
DJ Chark, the intended target, but it'll be 2nd down.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10.
Screenplay, Johnson. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Well, who needs a halftime? Am I right? Let's resume play.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Look at DJ Chark as he and the rest of the offense head back out. And he's racking up the yardage. You see the catches. Defensively, what do you do here to stop a guy like this?
You keep trying to change things up because nothing is really working. Whether you have a man on him, two people, you're showing different types of zone defenses combined with man-to-man coverages. Try and change things up and eventually get to the point where maybe...
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up third down.
A dime look defensively for the Lions on third. They're going to look to throw. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. It's a gain of... And that'll lead here to a third down. From the shotgun, it's Rosen. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Getting a hand in there and knocking it away, Eddie Jackson.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football. That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field.
They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
The thing that hurt on that play, the missed tackle, that allowed the extra yardage.
It's a matchup game in the NFL. You get the guy that you want isolated, have him miss a tackle, and off you go.
Now here's a throw that's taken in by Tajay Sharp. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer first down. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Johnson running right. Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Getting this quickly to Barrios. And down inside the 15 he goes. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer first down.
Down. 60 Pittsburgh.
First down, Buccaneers.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
70, Indy.
Again, it's Johnson. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And with the play clock reading 4, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
Ready?
Right there in the middle, 55. Hey, keep it up, keep it up.
Let go.
They'll run it with Johnson. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the 3-yard line.
On second down now, it's Johnson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
They'll try to run it in. Johnson. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. A 6-yard touchdown run as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Now on 4th and inches, they're going to want to talk this over. We get a timeout. And that's going to leave them with just 1 timeout remaining still in the third quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt them. We'll be back. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And his kick is indeed good. And that will extend the lead out to 24. So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
Play action here with Rosen. the middle, and it's incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here. That looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open. And this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete.
Check hot route. Hot.
They'll try to run for it with Howard. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. They were ahead of schedule after the gain of 7 on first down, but the defense does not budge on second and third.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Taken in at the 22. Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Eluding the pressure right. Dumping it off for Johnson. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Now Johnson. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Yeah, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was in.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
So they had the right down and the definite distance to take a shot downfield, but it didn't work out the way that they had envisioned.
No, that's a situation where if you take a sack close to the line of scrimmage, it's not that bad, but a loss like that, you can't take a sack there.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing you cannot do, they did.
He'll look to throw, and he finds his target. It's Sharp. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Throwing now, Rosen on 1st down. Finds his tight end, Ingram. A gain of 6 there on 1st. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. The Lions on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Rosen will throw. And that will be incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
49-yard punt, 5 on the return.
Go! Let's go!
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy. We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
That's the #2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be #2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be #1.
And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. That one, 28 yards on the ground.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
First seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
And power running here down to the 6-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, Johnson. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 4 yards on the play. That's going to lead to 1st and goal.
57
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Lions now. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
This is complete to Michael Thomas. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Now they got to get to the line quickly. To throw again on second down. Rosen. That's complete to Richard, the running back. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. So fire the cannons. It's a victory here for Tampa Bay. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.